The desert stretched out endlessly, a shimmering sea of golden sand under a punishing sun. Forrester wiped the sweat from his brow and squinted at the horizon, his off-road vehicle a distant speck behind him. He had wandered further than intended, but something had caught his eye, a strange glint in the dunes, almost metallic like sunlight reflecting off glass. Wasn't just a wanderer. He was a seeker, a freelance salvager of lost things. His reputation had grown quietly online, where his followers marveled at the old-world tech and ancient military gear he unearthed from forgotten battlefields or abandoned bunkers. But today felt different. Something pulled at him, an itch under the skin. He adjusted the straps of his hydration pack and moved closer. Half buried beneath a crust of wind-blown sand lay a dark, rusted corner of what looked like a shipping container, or perhaps a military crate. He knelt, brushing away the grit with calloused hands, revealing more of the surface. Strange symbols covered the metal. Not military, not any language he recognized. That's when he heard it. "Please, open." Froze. It was faint, so faint he thought it might be the wind. He leaned closer. The crate was old, corroded and sealed shut with welded edges and strange locking mechanisms that buzzed faintly under his touch. But then again, "Please, if you can hear me, open this." It was definitely a voice. Muffled, weak, desperate. Ty's heart hammered. "Who's in there?" he called out. Silence. Then a gasp. "Not much time, please." Adrenaline surged through him. He pulled out his toolkit, hands trembling, and got to work. The crate fought him. Its surface repelled heat, and his tools barely scratched it. It wasn't steel, something stronger, something other. He tried prying the seal. When that failed, he fired up a compact plasma cutter and began carving a thin line near the latch. The metal hissed, groaned, and cracked. And then, with a final spark, the lid burst upward, a thin mist escaping like breath from a tomb. Ty stumbled back, choking as the air filled with a scent he couldn't name. Not rot, not decay, just old. Inside the crate was a figure. Woman. Or something close to it. She was curled like a sleeping child, her skin luminous silver blue, her hair floating around her in strands of pale violet. She wore a suit of sheer mesh and strange armor that shimmered with shifting light. Her eyes fluttered open, revealing pupils like twin galaxies. Ty stared, speechless. She coughed, sat up slowly, and whispered, "You heard me." He nodded numbly. Who are you?" She closed her eyes, struggling to speak. "My name is Anvara. I'm not from here. I was left for dead." Ty offered her water, which she sipped like it was gold. Her hands trembled. "Where are you from?" he asked. She looked at the sky. "Far from this world. My people, we came here long ago. But there was betrayal. I was captured. Locked in that box to be forgotten." Ty frowned. "How long ago?" Her voice broke. "1,000 of your years." He reeled. "That's not possible." Anvara gave a sad smile. "I was in stasis. Conscious but frozen in time." Ty shook his head, still trying to process the enormity of what he'd uncovered. "Why were you locked away?" She looked at him with a mix of fear and sorrow. "Because I knew the truth. My people weren't explorers. They were conquerors. I refused. I tried to stop them. And so they silenced me." Suddenly the air shimmered. Anvara snapped her head around. "They've found me." "What?" Ty spun around. A high-pitched frequency screamed through the air. A strange vessel, smooth and obsidian like a shard of night, descended from the clouds, hovering in place. No propellers, no wings. It simply hung in the air like judgment itself. They're here to erase me. And now you, Anvara said, standing, her voice stronger. Her armor flared to life, glowing at the seams. Tai swallowed hard. What do we do? She looked him in the eye. Run. They bolted across the sands, the ship roaring after them. Energy pulses lit up the dunes, sending glassy plumes into the air. Tai led her back to his vehicle, praying the battery hadn't drained. He threw open the door, they dove in, and he slammed the pedal. The tire spun, caught, and flung them forward. Anvara gripped the seat, her hand bleeding silver blue where the plasma had grazed her shoulder. Drive west. There's a cave system. They won't follow us inside. Why? She asked. Because it's old. Older than them. And it resists their tech. The sky darkened as more ships appeared, silent watchers. Tai weaved and dodged, the desert a blur. Finally, just as the vehicle threatened to overheat, a dark slash opened in the cliffside. They skidded into the shadows. Inside, the cave breathed a cool, eerie calm. Strange symbols covered the walls, glowing faintly as they passed. Anvara touched them like greeting an old friend. This place, what is it? She asked. A sanctuary, she said. Built by those who once fought against my kind. The deeper they went, the more the air seemed to shimmer, time slowing, folding. Tai felt weightless, dreamlike. In the heart of the cavern stood an altar. No, a machine. A circular portal, broken and long dead. Anvara placed her hand on it. It was once a gate. Way home. Or away. I think I can repair it. But I'll need time. And you'll need to decide. Decide what? She turned to him, her expression solemn. Whether to let me go, or come with me. Tai laughed nervously. You want me to leave Earth. I want you to understand the truth. Your world isn't safe. My people will return. If I can make it back, I can stop them. But I can't do it alone. He looked around. Why me? Because you heard me, she whispered. No one else ever did. Tai felt something stir deep in his chest, something more than fear. Calling. The same one that led him to the crate in the first place. They worked for hours, maybe days, it was hard to tell. Anvara directed, Tai followed, wiring ancient conduits with scavenged parts, aligning crystals that pulsed with strange energy. At last, the ring lit up with a deep hum, the center rippling like water. From the mouth of the cave, the air cracked with thunder. A dark silhouette approached, tall, armored alien. They've found us, Anvara said, standing between Tai and the gate. A figure stepped forward. It looked like her, same species but colder, crueler. Anvara, it said. You should have stayed buried. I'd rather burn, she growled. The alien raised its hand. Tai braced for the shot, but Anvara launched first, her armor flaring. Light and shadow collided, a storm of energy slamming through the cave. Tai watched in awe and horror as Anvara fought, every move a dance of light, every blow a scream of defiance. She turned to him, bleeding and gasping. Go. Through the gate. I'm not leaving you, he shouted. You must. If I fall, someone has to warn them. Please, Tai. Tears stung his eyes. I'll come back for you. He dove through the gate, and the world shattered into stars. Tai opened his eyes. He stood on a world of silver grass and violet skies. Towers stretched into the clouds, and strange ships hovered silently in the air. But something else alarms. Panic. Soldiers running. Anvara's world was already burning. He knew what he had to do.